Alright guys, so I'm back and today I'm going to be doing a quick breakdown of the Star Wars Rogue One trailer that hit earlier today. So obviously without, trying to go into too much, what this is obviously a prequel to Star Wars A New Hope, literally taking place right before the movie by the look of it. And it is the story of how R2-D2 gets the plans to the Death Star, thus enabling Luke Skywalker to blow it up. So now let's just get right into this trailer. So getting right into this trailer, you can tell that it's definitely a moody, war movie. It's not a Star Wars movie as we know it. This is going to take it into the darker, gringier side of the war, and I really am excited for that. That's one of my favorite aspects that we've never really fully had explored. And right here, as the characters are walking by, you could tell that right now they are on Yavin 4. Yavin 4 also having been featured in Star Wars A New Hope, and this is where they kind of orchestrate the whole plan to, actually get the Death Star blown up rolling. This is where they take off with the X-Wings. It makes a lot of sense that this is where their staging ground is that the Empire does not know about. So then we are going to shift over and look at one of our fellow Rebellion members. Now, we don't have a name of who his character is because it hasn't been revealed yet, as far as I know, as of this recording, and, unfortunately, that's all we can really go by. What we can tell is he kind of seems laid back and almost, he's up for pretty much anything. Like, he knows something is going on here that he's not really going to try to back at him or anything. He seems very confident in himself. Seems just like a cool guy. Maybe one of the guys that we're kind of going to, get along with and, as he joins in this journey, maybe not exactly agree with everything he's saying, but he has his ways. So, because there's always the main hero who we follow, who's definitely going to be Felicity Jones, so they need someone to somewhat oppose them. I assume this is that guy. And for people we do know now, let's talk about Mon Mothma, who does have an appearance in this trailer. She's organizing the strike team that is going to be trying to figure out what the hell this major weapon is, and when are they carrying out the first weapons test. So, yeah, she's the one orchestrating everything here on Yavin, and it looks like, she definitely has a plan, and she needs to put together this pretty much elite squad of soldiers that are going to go in there and do the job that no one seems to want to, or no one can. Now, maybe it's just me, but I hope we get some cameos from the Star Wars Rebels crew, okay? Maybe that's just me, I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. And speaking of weapons, let's look at this Star Destroyer. Obviously you can tell it is very much almost one-to-one the same as they are in the original trilogy, with a few extra pieces here and there. Obviously they've been downscaling them since episode 3, getting them to this more uniform look that the Empire has by the time the OG trilogy rolls around. But it's not just that we need to pay attention to, because as it kind of passes by, here's what we see in the distance. The Death Star looks like it's closing the, it's closing itself. Like, they've almost finished assembling the whole thing, and now it's going to be ready for some sort of weapon test. Now, obviously, if they do test it in this movie, it would kind of, be a giant plot point, but then again, I don't think they will, just because of how A New Hope goes. But, we'll find out. Maybe they add some stakes to this. Maybe it's some sort of secret test that we've never seen before, that's never mentioned, and hey, maybe everybody in Rogue One dies, and that's why we never hear about it, other than the plans do get to escape. So, we'll find out soon enough. Now, a first assembly here of the Rogue One Rebels. Now, obviously, we just have two main characters here. Nothing really more to go by. None of the other ones. I think this is like right after that scene where she recruits her, and they're like, what's the thing? And then, they're going to kind of break down the plan to her and show her some of the stuff, so she'll fully agree to go along with this plan. Now, next up, once again, no name is currently known, but this looks like it is going to be the primary antagonist for our Rebels. Now, obviously, we could tell just by looking at him. Clearly, he's an Imperial. He's the evil guy. You could tell he's wearing the white all over, has the white cloak and everything. So if this is some sort of status, meant to represent his status or something, why we never see this type of, general or commander or whatever he is in the future, we don't really know. Maybe they'll explain in this. Maybe there's only a few of them that exist out there. So whatever. Maybe he's working under Grand Moff Tarkin, or I've seen people speculate that it is Grand Moff Tarkin. I honestly don't think it is, and if it was, I think they would have CG'd the face once again like they did in episode 3, but that's just my take on it. You know what? It could be, and if it was, I'd totally be okay with it, but I definitely do not think it is. Now, very cool scene is the Empire right here, obviously rolling in on some brand new vehicles, well, brand new to us anyway, but if you look at them, obviously there's different types of troopers throughout this trailer. So it's pretty cool to see that, you know, there are different, like, statuses. There's not just, you know, the Stormtrooper, the Scout Trooper, and all that. You know, there are other types that we haven't seen before. Now, once again, why we're not going to see these in just like a year until it's A New Hope, or who the hell knows, maybe this movie ends and we see the, you know, droids end up at the blockade runner. Who knows, honestly, but hopefully they'll tell us that story in here. Next up, we have Forrest Whitaker playing Lawrence Fishburne from Predators. At least that's what his portrayal reminds me of. Essentially, he looks like he knows about a lot more stuff than that, you know, what is happening. And obviously, he's going to be joining this team, joining this rebellion to try to take out the Death Star. Now, honestly, I think this is a pretty awesome role for him. He definitely looks like a guy, when you see him in a movie, like, that's experienced. Like, he's been through some, you know, shit. Like, he's seen war. And I think, like, his part in this, just a few lines he has and how he looks, I think it's perfectly fitting into this. Now, speaking of elite soldiers, let's look at this. For the purposes of this, we don't know what they're going to call them outside of the EU or anything, but I'm just going to call them Dark Troopers or Elite Troopers or anything like that. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, this looks to be some sort of elite squad that we have not seen before for the Stormtroopers. These guys look like they're going to be meaning, you know, serious business here. Setting stuff on fire, murdering people. It looks like there'll be some sort of official hit squad. I would assume maybe Vader sends these guys out as some sort of, you know, hey guys, go out there, clean us up. If you can't do it, then we'll send in, you know, even higher up general. So I'm going to assume that these are like the most highly elite as you can get as a Stormtrooper in the, you know, training programs and everything like that. So pretty damn awesome. Or who knows, maybe they'll throw something in at us. Maybe these are like elite clones or something. I don't know, just the spitballing here. So the next thing I want to talk about is obviously right here. We see a ton of Stormtroopers running by. We don't really know what they're running to. Sounds like there's maybe an alarm going on or getting ready for something. I am personally assuming that this is at the beginning of the movie. I'll talk about that right at the end of the trailer, or at the end of this breakdown on why I think all this, but I definitely think this is at the beginning of the movie, not at the end when they're getting ready or anything. I could be wrong, but in this scene we also see a few more of the different type of Stormtroopers. We see a different model to the helmet of what looks to be the Scout Trooper. I could be wrong, but it could be just a different model before they get to the ones we know from Return of the Jedi, but they look pretty damn great nonetheless. So next up we have a look at Donnie Yen in his role. Now he looks like he's just going to be honestly straight out a badass he's just going to like knock out everybody with a goddamn sword and a stick. So pretty damn awesome. Now there's nothing here to really confirm or deny that maybe he's force sensitive, maybe he's not. We don't really know. But looking at him here, he definitely knows his, you know, combat tactics and everything, so pretty awesome. And who's to say he's maybe not a Force-sensitive user? I mean, we know they're out there. Look at Kanan, look at Ezra. They're only, like, what, maybe a year removed from this, so it could still happen. It's pretty damn awesome that we're going to see this type of character, you know, appear in here. I'm super honestly excited just to see what he does, just knowing that he's so great at what he does. And clearly he was hired for this, to be able to show off what he can do. So, you know, nothing wrong with this here. It looks damn awesome. Now, regarding the planet he's on, I don't really know. I can't identify it for sure. I have no idea what it is. But it definitely looks like the Empire is kind of running all over it. You know, they're really trying to keep down the rebellion. Like, they're searching for these places, trying to find the last remnants. And maybe he is one of those. I've seen people say that maybe this is Lothal from Star Wars Rebels. I don't think it is. I don't think they're going to go that far, honestly, with it, or that interconnected with Star Wars Rebels. Or who knows, maybe it is, you know. But for now, I don't have really anything to go on. Maybe it could be Alderaan or something, but once again, I don't think it is because, you know, they wouldn't really know of that. But who knows, honestly, you know. The Empire would know, obviously, of where Alderaan is, but they blow it up and they don't think there's anything there, or complications. Now, next up on the ground in this jungle-looking planet, we see some sort of ship, which I'm assuming this is going to be maybe a Imperial ship, and I don't really have anything to go by on why I think this other than only one thing, and it kind of just reminds me of an early version of Kylo Ren's command ship. There's probably no connection at all, but maybe that's just me. So now another big scene that's happening here. Obviously, if you look, we have the Imperial Guards right there. So we know some serious crap is about to go down when these guys are around. I mean, usually their presence goes along with the Emperor, so make of that what you will. Now, we don't necessarily know who's kneeling down here. It could be anybody. We see a cloak. I'm going to believe that this is going to be some sort of precursor to introducing Darth Vader into the movie. I definitely think he's in this movie, and I definitely think he's going to be the cause of why all the rebellion in this movie dies, and why he single-handedly is just going to like slaughter them at the end of it. But pretty awesome scene right here, very moody. Now it looks like it's maybe something coming out of a tube or something. Very interesting. I don't think it's like carbonite or anything, or any early form of carbonite or anything like that. Who knows? Maybe I don't even know what to speculate on this one, honestly. Anything you really say on this could be just construed as stupid, because it probably is. So I don't know what to make of this one, honestly, guys. All I know is Imperial Guards, which means Emperor and Vader, probably somewhere in the vicinity. Now, another scene of one of the other rebellion members in the fight here. Nothing much to say. Of course, we've seen this guy in the photo before when the press release came out, so we definitely know he's going to be on the team. Looks pretty awesome. Looks like he's going to be another versatile addition to the cast and crew. So here's one of the big money shots in the movie. AT-ATs storming towards our heroes, running at their feet in a jungle, shooting everything up. This looks like it's gonna be awesome. And they don't have snow speeders here, or speeders, so how are they gonna take these out? What are they gonna have to do? Probably, place bombs on their feet and everything. It's probably going to be goddamn amazing spectacle to see this giant battle. It's probably going to be death and destruction, carnage everywhere. I really can't wait to see this, put you in the ground war, literally. Like, put you at just ground feet level. It's, oh my god, I'm so hyped. Like, this scene, chills everywhere. And speaking of AT-ATs, if you look right over there, there is a destroyed footer one with a bunch of dead stormtroopers everywhere. But it is that white cloaked figure of the Empire walking towards it once again. Like, almost he came down and he's seen the destruction of this because he wasn't here in time, or he just survived by himself. So, who knows what this means or anything like that, but I think it's just pretty cool that, obviously, like I said, I think this guy is definitely going to have more of a role. If I was to wager a guess, I would guess that this is like midpoint of the movie, like the big battle of the movie, because I think, the end of the movie has to somehow be involved with stealing the plans, which I think, this leads to it, like a giant blockade of sorts on the ground. And last up, the final scene, obviously, we have our character right here. She's dressed as an Imperial. And I've seen a lot of people already speculate that, is she going to turn to the dark side or something like that? I honestly don't think this is the case at all. I think this is, just her right now. And this is at the beginning of the movie, because we hear in dialogue that she was posing as an Imperial. So I think this is what we're seeing here, and she was doing that to try to get on the inside and get some of the dirt on him, some of the top secret details. Thus, she gets caught and chased out. They start running out of there. So it's some pretty, basic stuff. I don't think there's anything like, oh, she's going to convert to the dark side at the end and slaughter all of them. I definitely don't think that's the case here. So overall, that was a pretty damn impressive trailer. There are just a few more things I want to kind of pick up on over here that I didn't really cover at the start of it. And I couldn't really place it anywhere else, so I guess I'll just add it here. So during this scene when they're running right here, I think this is when the stormtroopers are chasing them. I honestly think this is at the beginning of the movie, after she's kind of revealed to be, oh, look, I was in the Imperial outfit, so now they're running and something like that. Maybe that's just my idea. And obviously you can tell there's a droid here. This is actually a droid that is going to be voiced by Alan Tudyk. And talking more about the heroine we see in the movie, of course, we don't really know much about her, but I think this is actually the same planet that I talked about before, where we actually see, the stormtroopers and everything kind of running it down. So I think this is at some point earlier in the movie where our team's kind of going to have their planet attacked here while they're all trying to do this rebellion at their own hand, so they kind of get together by fate. So that was it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my breakdown. I know there's not many names or anything we know of any of the characters, and that is unfortunate, but hey, I tried my best. So you guys let me know your thoughts on the trailer below, and if you guys caught anything in there. Hey guys, Armin here, just reminding you that this video was made possible thanks to patrons. If you guys are interested in supporting us and making sure we keep the lights on, check out our Patreon where you can join other fans in supporting the CBC, delivering content you guys have come to love and expect. And if you can't do that, give us a like and a subscribe. That goes a long way too.